Denver Zoo's Lynn Kramer and Craig Piper had created a 4-acre exhibit called Predator Ridge that simulated the Samburu area of North Kenya, home to some of the fiercest predators in Africa. Here, African lions, spotted hyenas, and African wild dogs live on a single savanna, separated into 2 individual habitats by a carefully concealed moat. Next, situated within close proximity of these predators, the habitats of 11 smaller species, many of them prey, were also included. The hope was that for predator and prey alike, the exhibit would provide an authentic recreation of their natural habitat. The exhibit's main focus were the predators, and while the sights and sounds and smells of the animal had one effect, it was now up to the keepers to take the predatory experience to a whole new level.
For years when we've designed zoo exhibits for animals, we always were thinking about what are the prime physical means for them. Well, with enrichment today, we're saying that's not enough. It's how can we create an environment that is psychologically stimulating for them.
We'll share it between the 2 yards, so do half and half. So we have straw, there's some hair. I did use up all the shavings, and we have all the different scents.
One major source of predator stimulation is olfactory. Here, the scent from a camel's hair, a skin that's been shed by a snake, the droppings of another species. It's all used to capture their curiosity and to trigger their natural instincts to hunt for prey. A response which may lead them to ruin it, mark it, or attack it.
We like to think of enrichment as an activity more than just placing items around the yard, because we want them to do some of the same things they would do in the wild. So if they found a blood trail in the wild, they might get excited. They might think that they've come across an injured animal, an easy kill.
To simulate an actual hunt, the keepers will use various combinations of blood trails, bones, antlers, and burlap sacks containing meat treats. All are spread out throughout the habitat, sometimes left out in the open, sometimes hidden to create a greater challenge. Of course, there's no substitutes when it comes to actually feeding these giant meat eaters. It's all red meat in a variety of forms.
What I'm doing is I'm putting some treats on what we call our termite mound. This is an area where the keepers can go underneath the yard, come up in the termite mound, and we can sort of give the animals some treats.
Built to resemble a termite mound in the wilds of Africa, it's not bugs that you'll find crawling around in here. Keepers access it through an underground tunnel that was designed especially for the Denver Zoo, so the predators could actually be fed in the middle of their own terrain.
There's a kitty. Hi. Good girl, Miss Hall. Would you like some?
Keepers also feed these voracious carnivores with their bare hands because it's more natural.
Bonnie. There's Bonnie. Uh-oh.
The goal of all these efforts is to provide the lions with the most authentic environment possible, in the hopes of encouraging natural behaviors. And here, it wasn't long before those efforts really began to pay off, with the courtship of Raja and Tawny, creating perhaps one of the most dangerous big cats of all, an expectant mother.
This is Tawny. This is our female lion that we believe is pregnant and due sometime around the end of August, beginning of September.
The pregnancy is fantastic news, not only for the zoo, but the entire lion species. Lions in the wild suffer from a severe lack of genetic diversity. So in zoos, they are mated under a strict protocol, based on their lineage.
The Denver Zoo participates in a computerized dating system with lions, and it's called the Lion Species Survival Plan Program. And it's a national cooperative management program for lions. And we actually have some of the most valuable, genetically speaking, cats in the United States.
Now, Tawny is given the royal treatment, but at a safe distance. Every effort is taken to minimize their handling, while at the same time, giving them the most medical care.
We can bring them through this nifty contraption here. This is a squeeze, but it also has a scale built in. This is an area where we might be able to weigh the animals or even take a closer look at them.
In a squeeze, the sides of the cage gently contract, to hold the animal so that it can be weighed. One of the components to administering a medical exam is through training. For Tawny, the training is especially important. Once they are on their hind legs, the staff or a vet can check their feet or look at their belly with a flashlight.
We'll be able to tell if the female is pregnant. You can look at her belly and look at her nipple development as she progresses through her pregnancy.
So far, Tawny's pregnancy is progressing well, but she's a long way from a successful delivery. Tawny's appetite has dramatically increased now that she's eating for 2, or possibly 3 or 4. Her protective instincts are surging, and she has taken over the lead in the pride. To prepare for the actual birth, the staff started to build a maternity den inside the Lion Care facility. This simple enclosure provides the illusion of a cave that Tawny would likely use if she was in the wild. And for the staff, it allows them to monitor the delivery without getting too close and creating an incident.
We have a little ceiling mount where they're going to be putting a camera that we can move on the computer so that we can take a look around the stall and keep our eye on Tawny and the cubs, make sure everything's doing okay. It's her first pregnancy, so we want to make sure that she's comfortable and feels good about everything.
With the staff and breeding facility ready, now it's up to Tawny. Then, on September 2nd, 2004, it happens. Tawny gives birth to 3 healthy cubs. For the zoo, it is a testament of the staff's hard work and the outstanding program at Predator Ridge.
The ultimate experience for me has been able to see the animals, my client, living in their new homes. And seeing them happy and healthy is the most wonderful experience, the best feeling I can get.
For its ultimate predatory environment and the positive effects it's had on all the animals, the Denver Zoo Predator Ridge is one of the zoo world's most remarkable accomplishments and a must-see stop in the ultimate zoo.